Oh, sorry you guys couldn't hear me. I was just saying, 1 second, I'm gonna let people get in the stream. Don't worry, I wasn't saying anything important. I was not saying anything important, except for hi. Alright, we'll get started in just a second. Yeah, we got a tornado on the ground in Arizona. Luckily, it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere here. But there it is. Let's take off the composite. Not see much on the velocity. CC. But clearly see a little bit of a rotating cell. Looks like a little bit of a rotating cell. It's weird, it's going clockwise. But yeah, that'll probably expire there. They'll probably let that expire, I think. Lots of rainfall up in the upper Midwest. Yeah, lots of rainfall in the upper Midwest. And up here, coastal New England. Now, if we take a look at the satellite. Not that satellite. I don't care about that satellite. Just go to shortwave. It's fine. Actually, we'll do this. We'll keep this on composite. Nice, slightly amplified trough digging down right here to the west coast. This is going to pull a lot of moisture into coastal California over the next few days here and pile up a little bit of snow in the Sierra Nevada as well. So good for you guys, some early season snow. High pressure here, rotating clockwise. Low pressure here, rotating counterclockwise. We're going to continue to see the threat for flash flooding down here in the southwest. Our nor'easter is heading off the coast. Unfortunately, it wasn't winter, because if it was, that would have been a lot of snow. Big upper level low moving off into northern Canada here, and that's what's helping to pull this moisture up and through the plains and then out through the upper Midwest. Pretty simple weather pattern going on right now. Upper level low, troughing, low, high pressure, low. This is off the tail of this low. That's that low. Simple enough. You get it? Simple. Simple enough. Alrighty. But yeah, we do have a tornado warning. Don't worry, it's in the middle of nowhere. That's why we're not really talking about it. But if you happen to be in... I can't even find any city that it's near. That's the thing. I mean, it's heading out towards Shongopavi and Orabi. I don't know how to pronounce these. Out here in Arizona. Let me go back to here. But it doesn't look like it's near anyone. I literally can't even see to the east of Black Falls, Arizona. It's kind of in no man's land out here. But to the northeast of Flagstaff, heading off to the northeast very slowly. I think they're going to drop the tornado warning. It's hard to really see much there. What's going on, guys? You're kind of near Flagstaff, but not really, and it's moving away from it. Larry and Morgan, I appreciate you guys. Smashed it like on the way in, yeah. All right, we got some stuff to talk about today. We always got some stuff to talk about. Obviously. This back and forth pattern here. Let's take a look at some of our forecasts. CPC keeps us pretty warm over the next 6 to 10 days, right? Cold, hot, but that pattern is going to start to, well, at least it looks like it's going to start to fade. Wait 1 second. I just messed something up. I got to keep my stream. Okay. Because OBS still isn't working. I have to have my live up as I'm doing this. That looks like it's going to begin to fade and a little bit, and we're going to get some of that cooler air or start heading back to averages. I mean, this is pretty much average through here. Maybe you're 1, 2, 3, 4 degrees above average, but it's pretty average air once you get down to that. So this is our 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. So we'll start to get a cool down pushing out east. And that's when things start to look really interesting. Let's take a look at the northern hemisphere. And I want to take a look at upper air temperature, 850 millibar. As we get towards the end of this run, I want you to look at this now. We've got all of this cool air kind of stuck up to the north here. I mean, look, you're getting some, you know, some wobbling of the polar jet over there on the other side of the world. But as we get towards the end here, it looks like that's going to begin to happen out here through the U.S. You can see a little bit of instability in our polar jet here. You can see it slowing down here. You see these, how our jet starts to wobble as we get out towards the end of October. And that's going to be influenced by some ridging and some warmer air being pushed up in other parts of the world. But regardless of how it happens, you know, something like this would definitely drop some snow somewhere in the upper Midwest or potentially in the New England at the end of October. If we were to see that type of wobble. I was actually looking at, I just uploaded my new video today, and I kind of go over a little bit of a winter update and stuff. It's kind of interesting, but I can just show you that. You don't have to watch it right now. I can show you that in the stream. One thing that's definitely been noticed is I got to show you this. Okay. Look at this. It begins in December. We have all of our seasonal, monthly globals seeing a really, really strong signal at an Alaskan ridge here, and then with some troughing. Now this looks like a La Nina pattern to me, but I find it interesting how all these models really see this ridge, this really, really powerful ridge building, especially in December and January. Look at this. That would be definitely destabilizing our polar vortex up to the north, and allowing for some of that collapse of cold air that we've been talking about. So, I mean, this is just reaffirming that strong, slightly enhanced, or maybe greatly enhanced, weak La Nina polar jet pattern that we're used to seeing. Okay, so this is the Canadian here. Look at the CFS. Look at the CFS here. Let's go. Here we go. As we get into December as well. There it is. There's that Alaskan ridge. Once again, you got a little bit of a buildup of warmth. This is going to be a little bit of destabilizing for the polar vortex up there. And then again, that troughing through North America. So, and then as we get out into January, this would be these type of heights up in the Arctic would definitely, this would be a interference not just to the tropospheric but likely the stratospheric vortex, which is what really brings us our cold air. So anyways, confirmed Canadian CFS. And then you go into our European seasonal, and what happens? Whoa, well look at that. We get into December again, and what do we see? We see some heights over Alaska and some troughing over the U.S. and some heights building up over the Arctic as well. And we see that holding through January and February. We see that ridge holding. Same thing with that polar jet collapsing into the States. Don't confuse just because this is orange that it's not cold. So yeah, quite interesting to see them all on the same page with this now. By the way, if we were to get a PNA like this in the last week of October, which is what we're seeing here, we'd have some temperatures below freezing, probably all the way as far south as southern Georgia. So we'll see. That's far. Don't pay attention to this too much. We'll see if that continues to shift down as we get closer. But that's a sign for a big collapse of polar air at the end of October. Just something to watch out for. But yeah, I do think the seasonals are very interesting. Very interesting to look at. We could take a look at what, temperature, but I don't really care about that. I care about heights. It's going to be more accurate. You can see, it gets very, very cold. Has a big collapse of cold here on the CFS. I appreciate the sub, Barbara. I appreciate the sub. What I was showing was definitely still a colder than average pattern for this winter for the States. When do I see snow for Minnesota? We could last week of October, if that positive PNA does confirm, you could see snow in Minnesota that last week of October. We'll have to see if that holds or not. If it does, we'd have cold enough air. Depends where the storm track would be. But yeah, this is pretty cold January that we're seeing here. And let me go here. Let's take a look at some of these. We've got the Canadian. Am I in the CFS? Let's take a look at some of these here. We'll take a look at what they think the monthly seasonal anomalies are. I mean, this is very weak La Nina-esque, although I'd expect a cold air to be collapsed a little bit farther down to the south. And then you got your seasonal. Yeah, of course, with their December, January, February, winter, this is where they're thinking the coldest air is going to be, but it'll be collapsed a little bit farther than that. European seasonal. European doesn't really show cold air, so it always thinks everything's going to be hotter than it is. And it's overestimated heat for quite a while now. So, you know, I look at the European for heights, not really for temperature anomalies, because it just always says it's going to be hotter than it is. I don't know why they need to fix that. I think the European thought it would be hotter than it was going to be for like the last 8 months in a row. But I do like the seasonal anomalies here. It's interesting to look at. And monthly anomalies. Yeah, cold January, potentially. December, January. Yeah, it's going to be a cold upfront winter. Anyways, we can go through more of this stuff here in a second. Let me actually go here. Let me see if some of these charts are up, so I can show you what we're talking about. This is an interesting image here. What's going on, everyone? Sorry I got my video out so late. I'm going to start answering questions here in a second. I'm just going over a little bit of winter updates. This is interesting here. The Japan. Okay, let me see if I can actually show you this. Let me see if I can show you the JMA. This is interesting. Can I show you the JMA? Okay, Japan Meteorological Agency. They're a pretty good meteorological agency, guys. And I think we need to look at something. They kind of know what they're doing. Let's go. Can I go to I want an extended JMA. I don't think I'm going to be able to look at it extended. Actually, I can probably look at it somewhere else. But we'll look at this real quick. Look at this. Actually, okay. Interesting. This is next week, next Monday. JMA does have big cold blob diving down in here into the States, and then that ridge beginning to set up over Greenland. Again, if this ridge sets up, guys, a little bit farther to the east, we could end up having this cold air settle in for the States for the rest of October, starting next Monday or Tuesday. The Euro and the GFS don't see this moving in and moving out. The JMA, from what I can see here, it's only going out 192 hours, but would want it to stick around. Let me see if I can find JMA Northern Hemisphere seasonal. Let me see this. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to read anything on here. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find this, guys. This is gonna be some good stuff. Ooh, it's in English. Nice. All right. Here we go. That's our 3 to 9 day. I want seasonal. Monthly discussion on seasonal outlook. Let's see if we can find this in here, guys. We're really... Chat, can I nerd out for a second? Yeah, I'm gonna do the hodograph next. I'll get the hodograph done. I'll get the hodograph done this week so that we can we'll have this UT hodograph, and then I'm gonna try to get within the next, we'll say, within the next 10 days, I'm gonna try to finish off the sounding. So I need to do hodograph, and then I'm gonna do the final one's gonna be all the information at the bottom, so that we'll have the sounding completely covered, and then I can move on to the next thing. Anyways, let's nerd out for a second, guys. Let's nerd out for a second. Let's see. Let me find the good stuff here. Okay. Look at this. You guys see what I'm looking at? You guys see what looks really, really spicy here? This looks... okay, wait. Can I do this? This is... okay. I'm going to show you. Okay, we need a highlight. Okay, this one on the left. Geo potential height. Okay. I believe this is our 500 millibar height anomaly. It is. 3-month mean geo potential height and its anomalies at 500 hectopascals. All right. Do you know what region of the world? Do you know what region of the world this is that I'm circling here? Chat. I'm going to tell you how winter's looking. Ohio Valley again. I'm looking at the moving into the 4th week of October if that's when our cold air is going to sit in. That's the Arctic Circle. Thank you, Leon Cantori. This is the Arctic Circle. Okay, the Arctic Circle gets extremely unstable, and our polar vortex gets extremely weakened and unstable when you have high heights and heat building up there, because that's not supposed to be there. That's displaced air. 3-month mean geo potential height and its anomalies at the 500 millibar level. Okay, so this is through. Now, was this based on? This is a little bit older, but this is still what it's showing. That's what I've been looking at some videos today and Weatherbell as well. This is what it's been consistently showing. Warm anomalies over the Arctic. When you get a high pressure building up over the Arctic, okay, your polar vortex is a low pressure. It's low. The lower the pressure, the faster the winds move around the Arctic, and the wind speed acts as a force field, holding in all of that Arctic air. B, what's going on? Appreciate you, Marissa. And when you start to get a high pressure built up, that low pressure obviously is going to weaken, and then all that Arctic air is going to seep out. This is a very, very, very warm, very high height anomaly for the Arctic this winter. Very impressive. You could also notice this. Look at this anomaly in here. That's North America. So you're seeing high heights and you're seeing troughing moving into North America. I'm telling you. Plains, Midwest, potentially Ohio Valley could have a winter with this setup. Let's take a look out here. This is at the 850 level. Again, look at the 850 level. Cool air troughing down into the States. Once again, this is such a weak La Nina. Look, it's crazy. Wow. All right, let me zoom out here and take a little, just a quick look, and I'll get into some questions. I want to see what else they're talking about on here. Probably missed some stuff. That's what I was trying to see the JMA seasonal height outlook for the Northern Hemisphere, which is what we just looked at. 3-month mean SSTs, nothing surprising there. Yep, we're going to keep our waters cooler along the equatorial Pacific. Again, this is the one that was really stood out for me right here. They're showing a bunch of stuff over there. Pretty crazy, though. That's pretty crazy. I wish you could look at the JMA on here, extend it, but I can't. Let me see. I can't, but we don't see any cool or any low pressure anomalies in the Arctic until maybe March. So from the Canadian, which is pretty good at this, and from the, let's take a look at the CFS again. You know, what I'm doing, guys, is we've continued to see this winter look like it's going to be a extra kind of cold and snowy one. And what I look every day is to see if that trend is continuing, and it is continuing. Who knows? I could wake up tomorrow and maybe we start to see things trending the other way, but it's not right now. Here's December again. Ridging, higher heights up here. I mean, this is the CFS showing the same exact type of pattern as the JMA here. This would be an extremely disrupted stratospheric or tropospheric polar vortex, both of them likely if you had heights this high up here in the Arctic. So, yeah, continuing to look pretty cold and snowy this winter. We'll see how that continues to progress, but I'm going to keep you guys updated because I'm obsessed with that type of stuff. if someone's going to Telluride for Christmas, we're good. It's tough, you know. If I were to say, you'd expect our jet stream to do something like this, not for the whole winter, but if we were to say as an average, so you're gonna have portions, I think, of Colorado that get pretty cold, and then you're gonna have portions of Colorado that are pretty warm. Isn't Telluride down there in like southwestern Colorado? Yeah, it is. Telluride might struggle this year, if I'm being honest, but we don't know that for sure. This area can struggle a little bit in a weak La Nina. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, like, a split in Colorado where you had, like, a lot of cold, a lot of moisture up in the northeastern Colorado, and then maybe a little bit of a struggle down here. But, you know, it's too early to tell for sure. We could end up having a much more collapsed polar jet because of all the weird stuff we have going on in the warm North Pacific. And in that case, Telluride would get plenty of good snow, plenty cold air. So, it's too close of a call right now, really. I do think, though, because Colorado's getting so much early season snow. This is reminding me, was it last year or the year before, when Colorado got like 3 feet of, or Denver got like 3 feet of snow in October, and then we got into like December and January, and it was just dry and warm out here for months. I wouldn't want all this cold and all this snow potential right now in early to mid October, because that's gonna flip, and you'd rather that the type of pattern you have now, you want that in winter, but we could still see that happen. Dallas is usually in a weak La Nina sees a colder than normal winter, but moisture wise, it can be average to below average. I mean, this region sees enhanced precipitation. So does this region. So does this region. Enhanced precipitation in a weak La Nina. Dallas is kind of on the border there. Central Sask. Where's Sask? Yeah, there was some snowfall. We can take a look at what's going on with Pivotal Weather. Let's take a look at our GFS right now and see what's going on. Or our Euro. We had some snow. There's actually some snow out in Montana right now. Nice strong low pressure system up there, moving up through Canada. We do expect some a lot of rainfall, like I said, along central and southern California, with some snow falling in Sierra Nevada over the next few days, because we've got that big troughing moving down here. This is going to bring more cold air for the west. High pressure here, and this is going to continue to funnel all that moisture into the desert southwest. So I'm going to watch flash flooding there. I do think there's a chance for severe weather coming up here. I want to show you this, guys. I want to show you this. Let's let this load. Can I go to the 00Z? Okay, one second. My internet's doing, or I don't think it's my internet. I think it's Pivotal Weather's being weird. Illinois, you'd expect Illinois to have a pretty cold year. Well below average winter with what we're looking at. All right, take a look at the 00Z real quick. Okay, we'll go back to the 18Z. Look at this. Look at this. Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Really nice jet streak across Tornado Alley. We'd have a pretty good flow. Pretty good potential flow of moisture from the Gulf. You'd probably want a little bit more southerly winds down there. But we're going to have cool air. We're going to have cool air out west here. We're going to have warm air ridge. Here it is. We're going to have a decent southerly flow with some good shear through here. So we'll have to see if the SBC ends up putting up a slight on this or whatever. But the one thing, we're not really seeing much CAPE with this event, which is interesting. So let's look at our surface-based CAPE. Pretty unexistent. So, and I think that has something to do with the moisture that's going to be there. I think we're going to have a little. Let's. How does the Rufus actually see this on the reflectivity? That's what I want to know. Yep, exactly. There's nothing there. It's a little dry. If we get a little bit stronger of a southerly flow, and you get moisture up into this region Wednesday night into Thursday, which helps with that lift, which will give us that latent heat release instability in this region, we could end up seeing a decent severe weather event Wednesday into Thursday. But If we don't get that stronger southerly flow, it's not much is gonna happen with this. But the shear looks like it could be in place there. That's a pretty good jet streak there, Wednesday night. Good evening from a waterlogged Arizona. I know, Justin. I've been talking about that the last few days. It's crazy. Last year was negative 40-degree wind chill in northwest Arkansas. Oh, wow. Are you sure? I don't think so. For negative 40. Wait. Oh, I spelled it wrong. It says January, you guys got down to negative 15. The coldest ever in Arkansas is negative 29 in 1905. Negative 15 is pretty cold. Let's see. What about Pennsylvania? You'd expect western Pennsylvania to be pretty cold this year. You'd also expect an increased frequency of snowstorms. But I still think with what's going on, like I said, in our subpolar North Atlantic, that we could have one or two big nor'easters out east. Here, we'll take a look at the latest European weekly snowfall prediction next 46 days. Again, don't look at this and think that this is where snowfall is guaranteed to be over the next 46 days, because it's not. But when you see the European being this aggressive with snow over the next 46 days, this is like not even in winter yet, then you understand that the Euro, then you understand that the Euro sees an aggressive, cold, and snowy outlook as we get into the end of October, which I think it does. So, wants to be very nice to Colorado. Okay, give me one second, guys. I'm going to be right back. I was supposed to do merch this weekend. I have too much going on in my live chat. I'll put my long video up today on YouTube. It's like 8 minutes, going over a lot of interesting stuff. Give me 1 second. Close my hand in the door. That'll hurt. All right. Yeah, right. B. Wait. Maybe I can here. 1 second. Maybe should we just do one right now? But I have to do the wheel. I have to set up the wheel. You know what I mean? I have to set up the wheel. Where is my wheel? Let me see. Wait, I gotta find the wheel. Give me a second, guys. We can do merch giveaway. Let me see. I said I wanted to do this weekend. I just have like, I always want to do everything all the time. Where's my spinny wheel? Oh, wheel of names. Okay. Guys, should we do it right now? Should we do a merch giveaway like right now? Yeah, 100 tabs open at once. Yeah, on 5 different computers. Okay, listen. Okay, for anyone who's in here, who's not in the Discord, add me. We're gonna do a free merch giveaway real quick. Basically, all you have to do is just emote or react to what I'm gonna put in the announcement channel.
This flash flood warning has been updated.
And then you can tell me which one of these you want, and I ship it to you completely free. All right, these are all nice quality. I'm actually wearing this one right now. I'm wearing this. Well, I always wear this one. Yeah. Watch this one. Okay, wait. Just add Connor's Climate Corner HQ, and I'll add you in, and then you can be a part of it. We're doing it right now. We're doing one. Connor's Climate Corner HQ. Add me on Discord so you can get into this. I'm gonna make an announcement right now. Hey, people always try to double emote on it. Just one, okay? I'd say, and for the next like couple merch giveaways, if you already won something, don't participate. But we'll reset it again. Where like I want people can win multiple times. Not a big deal. Mezzo Matt, what's going on? How much is the hoodie? 60, but it's free if you win it. So, all right. I'll say react to this to enter merch giveaway. Matt, I want to talk to you about some winter climate stuff. All right, there it is. Go react to it. If anyone wants to get into this merch giveaway real quick, just go add me on Discord, Connor's Climate Corner HQ. I'll add you in, and then you can react to it and then in the announcement channel. You know what I'm saying? Matt, check this out. I saw them talking about this in Weatherbell. The JMA, Japanese Meteorological Agency, whatever they are, who's very good. Look at their 3-month mean geopotential height anomaly. Look at the Arctic, dude. This would be a 10 out of 10 polar jet disruption, polar vortex disruption. Sorry about that. And then you have this troughing anomaly in North America while you're having this polar vortex disruption. This only feeds into this theory of I'm not even gonna say a crazy snowy winter. It could be. I'm not there yet confidence wise in the snow. I think it could be though. But the cold confidence is just out of control. The very, very cold start to winter is out of control. Lila, T-Swizzle, what's going on? It could be historic. I agree. I mean, that's just a crazy height anomaly for the vortex there through winter. And then I was showing it on here as well. Watch this. If we go Northern Hemisphere, heights. Look at... They all show this monster Alaskan ridge too. November, December, January, and then look at the troughing. Look at the troughing into North America and heights over the Arctic. They're all very consistent on this. There it is. There it is. CFS. Warm anomaly. Alaskan warm anomaly, where the vortex, our polar vortex is. Alaskan ridge, troughing into the states. All of them, very consistent. So that's why I'm like cold air. Here we go. We've got our European. Same thing. Alaskan ridge, December, January. Heights, higher heights in the Arctic. Troughing here. JMA sees it. So I'm 9 out of 10 confidence on the cold air. I'm just not quite there yet with snow. We'll have to see how it's all about where the storm tracks, how our storm track sets up, how our jet stream sets up. So, but anyways, that's what I was showing them. That's crazy. Here, people like looking at snow, so I'll let you see what the European thinks for the 46. Guys, this is not where snow is going to be over the next 46 days, but it just shows you how aggressive the Euro's being with it in the beginning of winter, which is because the Euro sees quite a cold and snowy pattern flip end of October into November. So interesting to look at. But anyways, did anyone add me on Discord? I can get you in there. Just react to what I posted on Discord, and then we're going to do a free merch giveaway. Just add Connor's Climate Corner. Okay, I see you. I see someone who just added me. I'm going to add you in here. Hold up. We're going to go invite to server. Connor's Climate Corner. Okay, just accept that. I'm going to give it, guys, it's 10:03 Central. I'm going to give it till 10:10. 7 more minutes. Just add Connor's Climate Corner HQ on Discord. And then react to the post. Hey, Matt, if you're still in here. You know, you would look at this and think severe weather. But I'm also looking at it and I'm not seeing a ton of moisture getting up there. You kind of got a westerly flow off the Gulf. It's not a strong northerly flow here. I think if we got I think we got a stronger southerly flow here. It's just easterly. If we got a stronger southerly flow, we'd probably get a little bit more moisture, a little bit more lift up in here. But to me, this just looks like we're not getting any instability up here, and I think it's because of lack of moisture. I don't know what you think about that if you're in here, but polar vortex for Wisconsin. Listen, it's not like someone gets the polar vortex and someone doesn't. That's not what the polar vortex is. Just an area of cold air that's held in the Arctic, and sometimes the polar vortex gets to disrupt it and leaks out Arctic air based on warm air building up in the Arctic and pressure anomalies up there. But vortex, you can't. The vortex just it stays up there. It just wobbles and is disrupted, and then we'll dump freezing air down to the states every now and then. But yeah, Wisconsin, you know. The people who feel that the vortex affects the most and most directly is the northern states, of course, but it does tip down to the southern states sometimes. You guys having lag? Let me know. Let's see how many people have. Oh, okay. I got another request on here. I got you. I'm adding another request into the Discord. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you an invite, accept the invite, and then I have to make you part of the Climate Crew so you can actually see the thing. So you can actually see the thing to comment on. So now I got to go members. And then XCap, I got to add you as Climate Crew. Boom, you're added in. And then we got another one. You're added in. All right, nice. Let's start putting the wheel together. Let me see. I'm gonna start putting our wheel together. All right. One second. Okay. Let me get these names. Let's see who we got in here. Let's go into announcements. Oh man. Okay, here we go.
New information. This flash flood warning has been updated.
Let's see. Wait, why won't it show me this name? Disable. 1 second, guys. We're doing this right now. We'll say Sarah H. All right. All right. I'm just here you go again. I see you guys trying to double emote. I see you guys trying to double emote. Just react to the thing in the announcement channel, guys. If I just added you into the Discord, just go into the announcement channel. Just react to it. Okay. Give it a little bit longer. Wait, Dalton, let me see. All right, get in there. Get in there. Get in there. All right. Tell me if I missed anyone. Wait here. I'll let you guys see it. Hold up here. Ready? Tell me if I missed anyone. Who'd I miss? Wait, Christian, what happened? Well, what are my thoughts for St. Louis on the 18th, Saturday? Yeah, remind me about that in a second. We can talk about it. I'll actually, after this, I'll do kind of the forecast for this whole week for the whole state. So we'll take 2 seconds. We can do that. Okay. And then, wait, once you're in, I got to add you we got a new member. I got to add you into the climate crew. Okay, now you can go, Dalton. You can go into the announcement channel. Squiddy, Dalton, XCap. You can go into the announcement channel. You can also go to a new member introduction. There you go. Look at that, Squinty, if that's how you pronounce it. Studying atmospheric science at the... wow. Currently studying atmospheric science in university. Love that. That's sick. Well, you're in the right Discord. Also, feel free to browse the Discord. If you go down, every single one of these things is updated every day. My Discord's connected directly to the National Weather Service. And so every time there's a tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning, anything gets immediately put in here. And daily weather updates are updated every single day. And announcements. It's pretty cool. Go to announcement, react. Let me know if I missed anyone's name. And then we're going to do this merch giveaway right now. We're doing it. All right, I'm going to check. Let's see if I missed anyone. Oh, Jazzy. Jazzy, you're not in there, are you? Jazzy. Squinny. We're just going to say Squinny. Nate. I might have to do 2. I think we're good. Did I have vibes? Vibes? Yeah. I think we got everyone. One more minute. Squinty, okay. Okay. I don't want these ads. Close ads. Thank you. Okay. I think we're about ready. Did I do it right? Yeah, Nate, you're in there. All right, here we go. It's 10:10. We're going to do 2. You guys are costing me a lot of money. We're going to do 2. I will say before we do this giveaway, I personally love this jacket. I think it's awesome. I think it's fire. It's super comfy. And it's got the thing on it. You know what I mean? But I think all the stuff's pretty cool. You know, whatever. Let me go here. Yeah, it's all high quality. All right, let's do this. Let's go over to satellite. We're gonna spin. Did anyone else try to get in last second that I missed? I think we're good. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, feeling generous tonight. All right. We're gonna do first spin. 3, 2, 1. I was about to say Squiddy just joined. He was gonna win the first one. Over to Nate. All right, guys. If you win, all you have to do is I think it's gonna ask me for a first and last name and a shipping address. I obviously will not give that information out to DM me. Don't put it in the public Discord. DM me in Discord with your first, last name, and then the shipping address. I won't be saving the shipping address. I will just... Oh, yeah. DM me what you want, the size you want, first and last name, and shipping address. The obvious things. And then I'll ship it over and I'll delete your address, you know? Unless you want me to keep your address. All right. Nice, Nate. All right. We're going to do another one, though. All right. Should I now remove Nate from the list, or should I keep him there and spin again with Nate on it? What do you guys think? I mean, he can't win again. He can't win again, but do I keep him on, or do I remove him? Yeah, I think you remove, right? Yeah, I agree. Okay. Nice. Yeah, Nate. Yeah, let me know what you want. Size and shipping address. It doesn't even, and you don't even need to send me your real name. You said a fake name. It doesn't matter, but I mean, I think I could actually just put my name in, but you know. All right, here we go. You guys ready for round 2? XCap, are you sure? Did you let me go back in here. I didn't see. I'll put you in for this one, but I don't think you reacted to it. I'm looking in here now. XCap. Yeah, you didn't react to it. Go in. I'll add you because I know that you jumped in here. I added you for this reason. So, yeah, you just had to go into the announcement channel and react to the comment. But yeah, I saw that you were trying to do that. That's fair. We'll add you in here. All right. Okay. I'm going to do... Well, do I want to do a refresh and repost? I'm going to go like this. Refresh. Okay, so now we're spinning again. All right, guys, ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, Squinty both times got so close. Oh, and then it's XCAP. Wow. That is good that you called me out on that, though, because I literally, you joined the Discord for the point of getting into this, and I didn't put you in there, so I'm glad I got you in there. I know, and I feel so bad for Squinty because it was so close both times. Don't worry, moving forward, I'm going to be doing a lot more of these, so you plenty of chances. Nate, XCAP winners. Yeah, XCAP. You can DM me. Just tell me where to ship it. First and last name. It can be real or made up. And then, yeah, what you want it and you know, the size. Connor's Climate Corner. It's literally connorsclimatecorner.com. Same as my thing here. connorsclimatecorner.com. And just pick out from one of these 8 things. We got beanie, hat, 2 types of beanies, hat, long sleeve shirt, and then this is like a for, you know, it's an embroidered Champions jacket. It's like for rain and stuff like that. Then pretty dope crew neck, sweatpants, hoodie. We have some other things that are going to be coming out. Let me go to what's on the horizon. Yeah, we're just going to do that for right now. We're not trying to get too crazy. But they're all high quality. They're all high quality pieces. I do embroidering because I don't want anyone to buy my stuff and then they wash it once and then all the stuff comes off. So everything's embroidered and everything's high quality. So yeah. Sweet. All right, guys, that was fun. That was a good time. Good time. Let me go back over here. The connorsclimatecorner.com. Literally like what my stream name, it's connorsclimatecorner.com. Yep. And some of the items you can pick colors too, like some you can't. I think the beanie, there's different color options, stuff like that. But yeah, just let me know what size, what you want. I'm delivering out just a name. Don't worry, it won't be shared with anyone. Just DM me it. No problem, no problem. Thanks for participating, everyone. Well, like I said, we'll try to do that more. I think this is my 3rd giveaway. I think this will be 6 items, so we'll try to continue doing it. It helps when my stream is more active, which it will be over winter, because obviously, like, I reinvest pretty much all the money I make on streaming back into my weather software and into merch giveaways and all that type of stuff. So I suspect I'll be doing maybe even like one a week this winter, because last winter I was making decent enough money. I didn't have merch yet, but if I'm making more, then I want to be giving away more. Obviously, it's fun. I want reasons to be in here and things to look forward to. So, you know. Anyways, any questions about? I know. Oh, someone had said, oh yeah, I wanted to do a little bit of a week forecast, just a general forecast. Let's take a look at the European. What could we be looking like coast to coast, temperature wise, precipitation wise, over the next week? I'll go to the 12Z euro. Actually, we'll do that. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I'll be in Northern Idaho at the end of October. Yeah, I think they will. Yeah, they're already getting good snow up there, and it's a pretty cool pattern through there. I think Northern Idaho will have snow, not just up in the mountains. Will Northern Alabama have a lot of snow this winter? Northern Alabama could actually see some pretty cold, could potentially see a below average temperature winter. It's tough to get moisture down there with the polar jet and subtropical jet setup that you have in a weak La Nina, but if there's cold air there, you always got a chance, and you guys could have a decently cold winter this year. I saw a weather page on Facebook saying the week of the 25th is going to be a wild for severe weather. Well, they're saying that. I'll tell you why they're saying that. They're saying that because of this. We're seeing a super amplified super amplified trough out here on the Euro and GFS. Although this wouldn't even be like this would be the severe weather setup right here, not the 25th. This is the 21st and the 22nd. This could end up being a big severe weather setup, but it's too far out to really know that far, you know. I'd suspect though with that type of troughing here, and this is our main jet, I believe. This is our main polar jet. It is. This isn't just a break off. I suspect that there's going to be crazy cold anomalies if I switch here at that same time. Watch. Yeah. Okay. It's not as cold as I thought it'd be, but yeah, lots of cold air would be sinking in out here with that jet. It'd likely be colder than that. I think this is wrong. I think we'd have 20 below or more out here. But as you can see, moving forward, we are going to get a little bit of ridging built up back over into the center of the country again, but then it's going to be forced out by cold air again. Okay, we're getting the push and pull. Let me do a quick little forecast here, all right? And we'll just start with precipitation. Here we go. A low pressure system is going to continue to move up the coast here. If we're taking a look at the east, actually, I'll do this in Weather Bell. I'll do temperatures first, and I'll do this in Weather Bell. Let's take a look out east. Let's take a look at our temperature anomalies, because who cares about what the temperature is? You want to know, is it going to be hotter than normal? Is it going to be normal for this time of year, or is it going to be way colder than normal? All right, moving forward. We've got into Monday. We've got some cold air still settling in along the eastern seaboard because you've got that low pressure system spinning there. Clearly, Ohio Valley out towards the plains. We're hot. We got a ridge sitting back up, so we're sitting 10 to 15 degrees above average. That warm air is going to push out east. We get into Tuesday and Wednesday, and we're pretty warm everywhere out east here, except for Florida. Some cool air down there, but that's because you're getting a lot of precipitation, so rain cooled air. Here we go. As we get into Thursday, some more troughing for the northeast. Maybe a break as we get back into late Wednesday into Thursday, some more cold air, 5, 10, 15 degrees below average. But this is going to come with potentially some more storminess out here as we get into Friday. And then look at the Central Plains and Ohio Valley and Mississippi Valley, Tennessee Valley. Hot this week. We're going to have some hot air rolling back in. Through the weekend, as we get into Saturday and Sunday, there you go. All that warm air is pushing now back out to the eastern seaboard. It's just a push and pull of warm and cold air. Taking a look at the central U.S. into tomorrow. Warm temperature anomalies, except for potentially maybe northern plains, upper Midwest, where you can see we actually are staying somewhat cold up here Monday and Tuesday, cool-ish, but we're staying very warm out here through the plains. That's going to continue through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then it looks like we're going to try to get a break here as we get into maybe Sunday, this upcoming weekend, and next week. Now we're looking a little bit far out, 10/21, about 10 days. We'll see what happens with this. This is a huge push of cold air. Does this come through, and then does our blocking up in Greenland actually finally set up, and does this cold air stick around like this model suggests it may? Really quickly, out west, what's happening? Well, you're staying pretty cool. Monday, cold temperature anomalies out here. Tuesday, cold temperature anomalies out here, except for a little bit farther. You know, this is more plainsy though. New Mexico, Colorado, eastern Wyoming. But for the west, we're staying pretty cool. Cold anomalies, you can see all the way through Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's just staying cold. Cold anomalies out there in the west. Rainfall wise, if we were to take a look at, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at our 168-hour quantitative precipitation. We'll take a look at 5-day precipitation. Not expecting almost any rainfall through the southeast, central to eastern Texas, then all the way up here through the Ohio Valley and a good portion of the Midwest here where I just circled. Not expecting any rainfall over the next 5 days. That might change as we get into the weekend. You can see into next up into Saturday and Sunday, we might actually get a decent amount of rainfall through the Ohio and Mississippi, Ohio, and Tennessee Valley. But over the next 5 days, this week, it looks like the majority of that rainfall is going to be coastal New England, although that's moving out soon. California, lots of snow in the Sierra Nevada and lots of rainfall along the coast. We're going to continue to see rainfall down there in the southwest and then also up here through portions of the western northern plains and northern Rockies. Really not that much precipitation for anyone, though, except for, I would say, California's getting a good amount. Tropical update I didn't do yet, but I did want to show you guys this. Let's go to the GFS. I have not been to St. Louis. I want to show you this. GFS does still see this system moving into the eastern Caribbean. This would be out here. I'm getting lost. 21st. So quite a whiles away, and then it moves out. But we need to pay attention to this. We do have And I got to go down into Oceanic, Atlantic, Caribbean. I can go Gulf probably. No, Caribbean. Here we go. Notice what our ensembles start to see as we get out here. Do contours. No, we want... Oh, this is the 18Z. Notice what our ensembles start to see here. A lot of activity getting picked up. A lot of activity getting picked up here as we get towards the end of October. Again, we don't know why this hasn't started yet, kind of. But I showed you yesterday, we have no wind shear in the Caribbean right now, and we have no dry air in the Caribbean. This could end up being a hotbed at the end of October for tropical activity. There's the European, and here's the GFS ensemble. And notice they're both seeing systems trying to come out of the Caribbean. This is an ensemble too, so it's looking at everything. So people are asking, is Florida going to get hit with something in October? The European and GFS thinks you have a chance. Yeah. So that's what's going on with that. Yeah, I haven't been to St. Louis. Do you think first snow in central New Jersey will be November or December? I think, well, it might not. A lot of times the first snow isn't even until January in Jersey, but I think because we're supposed to have a very cold kind of start to winter this year based on how our atmosphere is setting up, you could get a snow mid to early December in New Jersey, which you haven't seen in a while that early. I think that's what I'm leaning towards. Made you and Monica, I appreciate you guys. I do have a winter prediction upload. Any good news for us cold lovers in Texas? Northern Texas typically sees a cooler weak La Nina pattern. So, you know, a lot of times with the weak La Nina, you end up seeing this part of Texas below average, and you end up seeing this part of Texas above average. So, it could be an okay winter if you're up there, Dallas, Fort Worth, Lubbock, Amarillo, whatever it's called, Amarillo. Oklahoma, you would suspect you would have probably a better chance of having below average temperatures this winter, but it's going to be, I don't know about snow. That's a hard, maybe below average snow. No problem, Christian. Yeah, you got some storms moving in here, by the way. Probably overnight hours, but not expected to be anything severe in St. Louis. But yeah, your problem is you're going to have heat all week here. But it looks like pushing into next week, we're talking about 8 to 10 days out. St. Louis might be settling into some pretty cold temperatures. So October 21st through October 23rd, we'll see if that trough pushes down. You guys could actually feel a little bit of that winter chill, early winter chill. How long have I been streaming? I might actually get off. I gotta get up early again. Yeah, typically I don't get snow until January, February. Are you talking about Jersey? In the last like 5-6 years, it's been like that. But typically you guys get snow a little bit earlier, but it's been a little bit of a drought. I could keep going, but guys, I do got to get up very early. I've been on here for about an hour. Took me a while to put together the video too before I hopped on here. So, but yeah, people won the merch. Congrats. Like I said, just DM me what you want. I'll get that over to you. I appreciate you guys. I'll be posting a video again tomorrow morning. Like normal. Tomorrow morning I'll be posting. And I'll be back on streaming tomorrow night. I try to get on at 9. If I'm not on at 9, suspect I'll be on by 9:15 or 9:30. I put the kids to bed. I try to put the kids to bed around 8:30. And if they don't go to bed, if they're fighting with me, I typically can't make 9, but I try. It's all about when they want to go to bed. So, but I always try to get on 9. Like I said, if I'm not on 9, I'm usually 9:30. But mods, you're awesome. I appreciate all of you. I'm excited. Keep going. Get a little bit closer to winter. Channel's gonna probably get a little bit crazy. And I'm pumped. We'll do more of this. If you want to watch the video, I do go into a little bit more depth on the changes and updates for this winter. All right, you guys are awesome. Peace. See ya.